Welcome back, everybody, to the Fast Break here on the Variety Sports Network. I'm your host, Shoot to Rock, and we are here live with episode 2. To those of you joining in live, thank you for joining us. For those of you watching later, appreciate you tuning in as well. Like I said, live here every Monday, 9 Eastern, 8 Central here on the Variety Sports Network. And once again, another big week in the NBA as the shift is fully now to basketball. Football is over. Super Bowl happened yesterday. It was a bit of a snooze fest. And honestly, the NBA has been more exciting this week than the NFL was, at least in my opinion. I might be biased, here as you can see, wear my hoodie. Lakers fan, got Luka Doncic, excited for his debut tonight here for the Lakers, coming at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central on ESPN. So, gonna talk some ball here with you guys, and then gonna be tuned in, locked in for that one for sure. So that trade, the Luka Doncic Lakers trade, was clearly the biggest trade of the week. The definitely winner of the weekend, number one trade, Los Angeles Lakers. But here, there was a lot of other big trades that went down on the week. Thursday was the deadline. The last show I did last Monday was just kind of the start. And while there wasn't really anything that topped that trade, we definitely had some good ones. So I'm gonna get into here my winners and losers of the NBA trade deadline. And then why don't you guys feel free to drop your picks as well. Because I like hearing from you guys. That's why I like doing this show. Sorry, so I'm just gonna get this here, type this out so that way you guys know. To drop your picks. That post. There we go. All right. So first winner I have is the Golden State Warriors. This was probably most notable trade that happened outside of the Luka trade. Jimmy Butler. He finally got his wish. He's no longer a member of the Miami Heat. He's now a member of the Golden State Warriors as the Warriors acquired Jimmy Butler, 2 second-round picks, and cash considerations from the Heat. In exchange, the Heat received Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Davion Mitchell, and a 2025 protected first-round pick from the Warriors. This was a 5 teams, here to make this work. Then the Jazz in this trade got Josh Richardson from the Heat, KJ Martin from the Pistons via the Sixers, 2028 second-round pick, 2031 second-round pick, and cash considerations. Pistons got Lindy Waters from the Warriors, Dennis Schroeder from the Jazz via the Warriors, and then a 2031 second-round pick from the Warriors. And the Raptors got PJ Tucker from the Jazz, 2026 second-round pick from the Heat, and cash considerations from the Heat as well. So like I mentioned, Jimmy Butler, biggest name to move. I mean, Andrew Wiggins, big name, slightly big name as well, but Jimmy Butler, definitely biggest name. And he'd been wanting out of Miami. I mean, he'd been suspended. He wasn't playing at all. Was definitely going up against the Heat culture of, doing whatever it takes to win, doing, team above all. And the Heat had enough and, suspended him. While he wanted to go to Phoenix, and it sounds like, maybe Golden State was acquiring him to potentially send him to Phoenix, get Kevin Durant back, which sounds like Kevin Durant had absolutely zero interest in. Jimmy Butler now finds himself in Golden State and still on a winner, in my opinion. I mean, he's now with Steph Curry, arguably greatest point guard ever play, definitely greatest point guard of this generation, who, while he's aging, is looking to win, one more championship, looking to play for, some competitive playoff basketball one last time, because hasn't really got that. I mean, got knocked out in the play-in last year, and, they're looking to make a run. He doesn't have Klay Thompson by his side anymore, so they needed to add. I thought it was going to be a center, but instead it's Jimmy Butler. So, but for the Warriors, I like this trade just because, like I said, it does put them in more of this competitive status. I mean, do I think they're a championship contender now? No. Still think there's a lot of teams better in the West. But, Steph Curry doesn't have to do it all. And to be honest, he kind of needs someone to help deal with Draymond. it's going to be interesting to see here, this Jimmy Butler-Draymond relationship. They're both kind of, alphas, like the butt heads. Draymond's been quoted, he said, we both like to win. So he says they're going to get along. So we'll see. We'll see if that actually lasts, or if once again we just have another blow up for Jimmy Butler, where like Minnesota, scrimmaging with the third string, going up against starters, running them out of the gym, letting them know about it, causing a scene. Philly, well, he got traded to Philly, but then doesn't resign, goes to Miami. Did lead the Heat to 2 finals. I mean, I would say Jimmy Butler's tenure with Miami, for the most part, was very successful, was pretty successful. They just didn't get over the hump. But I mean, the first time in finals, or in Heat franchise history, they went to the finals without, LeBron James or Dwayne Wade. So for Jimmy Butler to be that kind of next guy, so it was a very big accomplishment for him, but just couldn't get over the hump. So he decided it was time to go, and we'll see if Golden State ends any differently. We'll see. I think there's more moves they're going to have to make in the offseason for them to really be a championship contender. But could they maybe shoot up the standings here? Because right now they are still outside of the play-in. They're currently 11th, 26, but tied with the Kings and the Suns, who are also 26 and 26. A game and a half behind the Mavs, who maybe the Mavs slip here now. So the Golden State's not out of it, but like I said, most likely you're looking at a play-in team here, and I don't really see it. I don't really see Jimmy Butler doing it again, taking a play-in team to NBA Finals. Would it be cool for it to happen? Yes, but do I think it's going to happen? I'm saying no. So while I do have the Warriors as a winner, just because I do think it makes their team better, I don't think it's this year. I think it's I think there's still going to be more moves that need to be made, and like this team, just how it's set up currently, not a championship contending team, but it's a step in the right direction. For the Heat, on their side, Andrew Wiggins, decent player. Like this is an okay return for the Heat. I mean, especially considering they had to get rid of these guys, like had to get rid of Jimmy Butler. It was either trade him or you're gonna pay him to go home for the rest of the year. I'm glad they're able to figure something out. So to get Wiggins, Kyle Anderson could be a decent role player. At times, hasn't done a whole lot this year. And then Davion Mitchell, younger player, bank on that. And the first round pick, you're always gonna take draft capital. So for the Heat, I don't know if they're necessarily like a loser. I think this was a solid return. It was a fine return. But yeah, Heat now are kind of in a rebuild, themselves. Who are they going to find? Who are they going to pair around Bam Adebayo? He's definitely the leader of this team now, if he wasn't already. Tyler Hero. Well, I mean, I am Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero's an all-star this year. Did they think that duo of Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, do they think that's enough? I don't. Let me know what you guys think. But I would say it's not. So I think there's still gonna be more moves here that the Heat need to make this offseason, if they're going to try to retool and keep this into a contending team. So that's all my thoughts on that trade. Moving on to the next one here. Next trade I like. The Cavs traded for DeAndre Hunter, a good wing player that they needed. They got him from Atlanta in exchange for Karis LeVert, Georges Niang, 3 second-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. So, like I mentioned, Cavs desperately need a wing. This is a good trade for them. Karis LeVert is a good player that they had to let go, sadly, in this. But you already have 3 All-Stars. 2 at the guard position, and Donovan Mitchell, and why am I blanking? Darius Garland. Why was I blanking? I don't know. I was blanking. And then Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley is your big. So, the 1, the 2, and the 5 they got filled, but that 3 and the 4 position they kind of need that filled, and that's where DeAndre Hunter comes in. And yeah, I mean, I just like that move. This is a team. This is a Cavs team. They're all in. They sense that they can go deep. I mean, they're first place in the Eastern Conference still. They have a 5.5 game lead on the Celtics, 8 games on the Knicks. Like, they're gonna finish as the 1 seed, but they have struggled, this year against some of those top teams in the East, like the Celtics. I believe that, they're 1 and 2 against Celtics. I know the Knicks have beat them this year too. So, do they have enough? While record-wise, they're the best team. They're going to be the best team in the East. Are they actually the best team on the court when it matters, when it comes down to a 7-game series? I think they needed to add to have a chance to be that. And this addition, I definitely would say, puts them in a better spot for the Cavs to be that. Let's look here. I should have had these guys like first games pulled up here, how they did, because I know DeAndre Hunter did play over the weekend for the Cavs. Jimmy Butler did as well. Or did he not play over the weekend? Maybe he didn't play over the weekend. Maybe I'm tripping. His last game here was with Atlanta. Guess he hasn't played yet. So never mind. I lied. I don't know ball. But yeah, that's a good addition for the Cavs. I really like that one. Definitely a winner for me. The Hawks. For me, for the Hawks, this says Trae Young is getting traded this offseason. It's clearly, it just hasn't worked out. You know, the Hawks did have that run to the Eastern Conference Finals back in 2021. Looked like, maybe could we have something here? And then they just haven't put it together. I mean, they tried trading for Dejounte Murray. That didn't work. Had to ship him off this past offseason. People thought maybe it could be Trae Young, but I think now this offseason, when Trae Young finally goes, this looks like it's finally Hawks are kind of like, all right, this isn't going to work. We're going to scrap this. You know, look to maybe start over, because Hawks currently are sitting in the 9th spot, but are 2 games under 500 on the year, or 3 games under 500 the year at the moment, 25 and 28. They'll probably be a play-in team because, I mean, the Bulls are clearly not trying to be in the play-in anymore. The Sixers, want to pop up, but they really, haven't done it yet. They want to, but they haven't. We gotta see some more moves here from Philly before I'm confident that they jump into that play-in. Have them finally start playing well. And yesterday at times I was at that 76ers Bucks game yesterday. I'll get to that later in the show here. At times, Sixers play well, but they just haven't put a full effort together. So I have a hard time seeing the Bulls and the Sixers being the ones to keep the Hawks out of the play-in. So I think the Hawks will still be a play-in team this year. Do I think they make the playoffs? Probably not. I mean, who knows? Maybe Trae Young goes on a run, gets hot for 2 games. I mean, that is the one thing I do like about the play-in. It does have a little bit of a March Madness feel, get hot, go on a run. But even if somehow that happens, I mean, they're getting stomped by Cleveland in the first round. So yeah, so it's just kind of time. It's kind of time for the Hawks to move on, and I think that's what they're doing here. So in the next trade, and again, don't be afraid to comment, you guys. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Twitter/x.com now, or if you're on YouTube, let me know, your thoughts on these trades that I've broken down so far. Other ones you want me to touch on. I'm gonna try to go through most of them here, but there might be some I miss. But I like to hear your guys' thoughts. It makes it better for me, makes it a bit more of a conversation rather than me just talking at you guys. So feel free to drop your thoughts on these trades in the comments. Sorry, I probably should mute my mic when I'm sipping. All right, next trade. The Bucks received Kyle Kuzma from the Wizards. So they got Kyle Kuzma, Jericho Sims, a 2025 second-round pick, and a 2026 second-round pick. The Wizards, in exchange, received Chris Middleton, Bucks legend, NBA champ there. Sadly, time for him to go. AJ Johnson and a 2028 first-round pick swap. And then in this trade also, then DeLon Wright went to the Knicks via the Bucks. The Knicks got the draft rights to Hugo Basson via the Bucks in cash considerations. And then the Spurs received Patrick Baldwin Jr., it's a Milwaukee kid, so interesting to see him get traded in this, and then cash considerations. So for the Bucks, it was kind of known that Chris Middleton just had to go, was kind of making too much money for the production he was getting at this point in his career. Like I mentioned, Milwaukee legend, big reason on why they won that championship. They would not have if it was not for, Chris Middleton and some of these other guys. But especially now that Giannis is injured, the Bucks do need kind of more forward depth, forward help. They do still have guys like Bobby Portis was playing a lot yesterday. I'm trying to think who else. Gary Trent's more of like a 2 or 3, but he played a lot. But they kind of need more to put around Dame. So they got him, Kyle Kuzma, to kind of now be the new third member of that big 3. That's crazy calling that a big 3, considering what big 3s used to be. Imagine just back in the day being your big 3 was Allen, Garnett, and Pierce, or LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. Now it's Damian Lillard, Giannis, really good players. I mean, those guys are, I'd say, the level of guys I just named. And then Kyle Kuzma. That's a little disappointing. I mean, maybe, after his rookie year, you thought Kyle Kuzma was going to be a superstar in the league. He clearly hasn't been. I'm going to be honest. I think yesterday when I was at that Bucks game, that's probably the first I've watched Kyle Kuzma play basketball in a year and a half. I literally do not remember the last time I watched the Wizards play basketball, just because, I mean, they're never on national TV because they're that bad. And it's like, I'm not going to like take the time out of my day to go watch a Wizards game. Sorry if there's any Wizards fans in here. But just like they haven't been competitive. They haven't feel like a competitive team. It's been a bit of like an AAU vibe with, Kuzma and Jordan Poole just kind of chucking, it seems like. So it's like I'm not going to watch that. That's not great basketball. But now Kuzma goes back to a contending team. As a member of the Lakers championship team, he does have he knows what it takes to win the championship, knows what it takes to play with a star player like LeBron. Now, playing with Giannis. So once again, kind of small forward that's dominant, one of the better players in the league. So I think it's a good ad. I think it pairs really nicely for the Bucks. I think it's, he can maybe not play as, doesn't really like go off of Giannis, but like off of Dame, that's good. Brook Lopez is the name I was thinking of. So that's who I was thinking for bigs. Yeah, Brook Lopez, he's getting up there a little bit. So, adding another forward, guy who can play the 3 or 4 in Kyle Kuzma, I think that was a good ad. Got some gas here from my boy Ian will show us here. Best Lakers pregame show in the biz. I haven't even talked to any Lakers yet, but I, like I said, wearing the hoodie. Excited for Luka's debut. Gonna be, might have to cut this little short tonight. Make sure I'm locked in, ready. I am a little disappointed here. I think this like Baylor Houston game, I do have it on right now. It's going on. I don't think it's gonna be done before that Lakers game starts. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. I love college basketball. I love Big Monday, but yeah, I'm be locked in. I'm be locked in for Lakers Jazz. I believe I did just get a notification on my phone. Let's see here. Redick announces Lakers star will debut tonight. All right, so it's happening this time. Confirmed by JJ Redick. Luka Doncic will be making his Lakers debut. Did see on social media, they got the shirts out ready for everybody as well. So I'm excited. That should be a good one. ESPN, they're not going to get bamboozled again like they did on Saturday when they thought it was going to be Luka's debut, and then neither him or LeBron played. So they ended up moving Auburn, Florida off ESPN for no reason. But Lakers got a dub. Lakers are playing well. Lakers are playing really well. Screw it. I'm going full Lakers now. Lakers are now the 4th seed in the West. This like surprised me today. So they're 4th seed in the West. Oh, no, now they're the 5th seed. Now Houston jumped back ahead of them. 33-20. Lakers are 31-19. Rockets kind of fallen off 4-6 in their last 10. Lakers, on the other hand, 9-1. They're hot. They're rejuvenated. Now with the star player adding, I guess I could segue this into though some bad vibes for Lakers when I finish this. So we'll do that. I was listening to, what show was? Oh, it was the Mark Titus show, which is more of a college basketball show. But they were talking NBA and just like kind of saying like the Mavericks were like the better team this year after that trade, and I was kind of like, that's crazy. Mainly their thing was trying to say, people are acting like Anthony Davis is a box of rocks, like Anthony Davis 6. No, Anthony Davis is still a top 15 player in the league. And I think, the pairing with Kyrie it's a good pairing, but granted, now Anthony Davis is going to be out for a little bit here. I believe it's like a month, extended period of time. And, they're just kind of saying like, yeah, the Lakers are set up for better. Like once LeBron retires, like they still have their star, still their face of the league, but acting like the Mavericks are now better than the Lakers this year. Still no, Lakers are 5th. Lakers are in 5th, 4th, 5th. Who knows? Maybe they could even jump up to 3rd. But they now have a top 5 player in the league in Luka Doncic when he's healthy. And if LeBron James can stay healthy, maybe he plays a little bit higher level. LeBron is still a top 10 player in the league, in my opinion. If you disagree with me, let me know. Let me know. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear people name 10 players they think are better than LeBron James. right now. Still, I don't think you can. I don't think I can. That's why I'm saying it. But yeah, Lakers, man. Lakers are hot. They're fourth, fifth in the West. I don't think they'll be a play-in team now. I think they can keep this hot streak. They'll be chilling. They'll be for sure playoff team. Just don't get matched up against Denver round one. The Lakers cannot beat Denver. However, Denver doesn't have the depth they've had in years past around Jokic. So Tyler Kolek, better. Tyler Kolek, who can't read. However, apparently neither can LeBron. LeBron was reading the first two pages of the book. But okay, Tyler Kolek better. Yeah, that's definitely not any Marquette bias at all. That's a good comment right there. I like that. Tyler Kolek better than LeBron James. You heard it here first. That's like I have a buddy. I'm just bringing this up because it came up again at my Super Bowl party yesterday. A little bit irrelevant. The buddy, 2020, he told me Obi Toppin was going to be better than Jason Tatum in 5 years. Well, he has Obi Toppin has till October to be better than Jason Tatum for my buddy to get $100 from me. I don't think that's going to happen. So, yeah, I guess maybe in the universe that Tyler Kolek is better than LeBron James, Obi Toppin is better than Jason Tatum, and I owe my buddy money. But that's an alternate universe. That's not the universe we're living in. So, but now the down on the Lakers. I've never seen anything like this. I did not know this was a thing. Maybe I jinxed it. Maybe I jinxed it when I was like commenting about last week how David Stern would have like vetoed this trade because he vetoed the Chris Paul trade. And like anytime I see an outrageous trade, like I just think of Chris Paul Lakers and how that got shut down. I guess that's the closest thing that I've ever seen to this. The Lakers acquiring Mark Williams for Dalton Knecht, Cam Reddish, a 2031 unprotected first-round pick, and a 2030 pick swap got rescinded. Like I said, the trade deadline was Thursday. This trade got rescinded on Sunday. How? How did... Like, it was multiple days after the deadline. Mark Williams injured, so he didn't play. I don't believe Dalton Knecht played for the Hornets over the weekend. Let me check to make sure. But I was like, I've never seen anything like this before. So for that, I'm giving the Lakers a loser because, well, not a loser. I guess maybe not the Lakers. I'm giving the Mark Williams trade. So I guess Mark Williams is a loser. Mark Williams, first loser I have here of the NBA trade deadline. Because he thought he was going to be an LA Laker. Thought he was going to play with Luka Doncic, LeBron James, two of the top 10 players in the league. But now he has to go back to Charlotte when he's healthy. He failed his physical, apparently. I guess that's why it got rescinded, and I guess it makes sense, him being the only player in the trade, that then you could rescind that. But it still just seems very odd to me. And granted, the Lakers did overpay for Mark Williams. Like, I actually was going to give the Hornets, maybe a winner for that just because of the package they got. Like, that was almost a win-win deal for both sides where, one, the Lakers already, they did better. They got a better package than expected. And I mean, just, I wouldn't even say ever expected, got Luka Doncic. Like, you can't acquire Luka Doncic and then be a loser at the trade deadline. Like, that doesn't happen, But now, they get their big. They get a big because that's the problem now. Lakers don't have big. That's the only problem with the Lakers. They are hot, but who's playing center? Like, they physically do not have a starting center on the line. I mean, let's pull up this Lakers roster here. Who do we have listed for center? I mean, Jackson Hayes has been playing a lot of center. Yeah, Trey Jemison III is the only other guy listed as a center. Oh, and Christian Koloko, who was signed before the season. Trey Jemison was signed back in mid-December or mid-January, so like not even a month ago. Yeah, that's a little rough. I mean, they're definitely gonna have to look for someone here in the buyout market. I would say now that Cam Reddish, like, since he didn't get traded, since he's back on the team, he's probably getting bought out. And will be or no, Cam Reddish won't be bought. Cam Reddish will get waived and they'll get some buyout center. I mean, maybe I was hearing like maybe Daniel Tice or Bismack Biyombo. Those are not names that excite me. Jackson Hayes is decent. Jackson Hayes is solid, but yeah, Jackson Hayes cannot be a starting center on a championship team. I mean, look at that Lakers bubble championship team. They didn't have like the greatest centers. They had some like veteran guys, some really solid guys that like teams weren't just scoring in the paints. And then you also like throw in AD, which now they don't even have AD. So now like obviously you're not gonna re-sign Dwight Howard. Like he's old now. He's not gonna be any good. Same thing with JaVale McGee. But like those guys were big. They played big roles in that Lakers championship team, and now nowhere to be found. So that's I will say the one downside of the Lakers here on this trade deadline. They're without a center. So loser to the Lakers for having no center. Loser to Mark Williams for having to go back to Charlotte. But yeah, I mean the Lakers can't be like a straight out loser, but just a tough roster construction here at the moment, just with no center. But let me know your guys' thoughts on that trade. Have you ever seen, like, is there something, maybe there's somebody who's a little bit older than me here in the chat who can remember a trade getting rescinded, or someone who's like really deep in the weeds on trades that remembers it, because I cannot. Sorry, let me mute my mic here. I think. All right, next loser. Toronto Raptors. They received Brandon Ingram for Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick sent to the Pelicans. This one makes no sense to me. So maybe they think they can build around Brandon Ingram in the future. I guess they now have another Duke guy, Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, two Duke guys together. But I mean, I don't think Brandon Ingram used to be an all-star, but I don't think he's going to be an all-star again. Especially now, he's on the same team as Scotty Barnes. It's hard to imagine the Raptors getting two all-stars anytime soon, unless I guess they're like a top 3 seed in the East. But not seeing it with this route, I feel like they'd have to add someone who's even better that then would take one of those all-star slots. So it was a bit confusing for me. And then just giving away, multiple picks for just like not being in content, like that doesn't make. Maybe it makes the Raptors better. Does it make them 6.5 games better that they jump in, or 6 games better that they jump into the play-in? But I mean, they're currently 16-37. I don't think this Raptors team wants to be in the play-in. Like, capture the flag, Raptors. What are you doing here? Capture the flag. Go for Cooper Flag. Yeah, I mean, like Pelicans are out of it. Like that's fine. They got rid of Brandon Ingram. They're 12-40. Worst team in the league. Or no, I'm sorry, worst team in the West. Second worst team in the league. But granted, the Jazz are also only at 12 wins. And the Hornets, not far behind, only with 13. And then, who's next in the least amount of wins? The Toronto Raptors. Yeah, just trading a star player between two bottom 5 teams in the league. Like how does that make any sense? I don't really understand. So for that, I'm gonna go Raptors loser. Why are you acquiring Brandon Ingram? Doesn't make sense to me. All right, look in here, kind of any other notable ones. And if there's any I'm missing, please let me know, chat. Bucks also got Kevin Porter Jr. for Marshawn Beauchamp, straight 1-for-1 trade with the Clippers. That's solid, not a bad trade. Oh, was this like okay? There, I might have messed up, because now it's like Raptors land Tucker from the Heat. So I guess that was like a separate trade. Okay, all that stuff I was reading about Jimmy Butler was separate, and that was like throwing me off too when I was reading it. I don't remember this. Oh, this one, yes, I almost forgot this one. Yusuf Nurkic has been dealt to the Charlotte Hornets, which again, now they have Mark Williams, and he's injured and he's not playing well, failed his physical. Well, not playing well. He's not playing because he failed his physical. But the Hornets now have Yusuf Nurkic and a 2026 first-round pick in exchange for Cody Martin, Vasil Micic, and a 2026 second-round pick. Yeah, I think the Suns really did want. I'm gonna give the Suns a loser. I'm gonna give the Suns a loser. I think the Suns really did want to do more and try to, really. maybe not rebuild their roster, but definitely do something a bit more extreme, kind of like they did when they got Kevin Durant a couple years ago, and not blow up the team, but like try to make some sort of move to get better. But I think a big thing that blocked them from doing that was Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's no trade clause just absolutely handcuffed the Suns. He didn't want to move again. He didn't want to leave a warm weather market for a cold weather market, which I don't blame him. I live here in Chicago. I wish I didn't live in Chicago. I wish I lived somewhere nicer. I mean, if my job wants to trade me to like, I don't know, a different team in a warmer climate, I'd take it. I'd take it in a heartbeat because I agree. But if it was vice versa, let's say I was living in Phoenix, and my job here in Phoenix, wanted to trade me out here to Chicago, I'd be saying no. I'd be saying I'm not going anywhere. Granted, would I go from Phoenix to South Beach? Maybe. Bradley Beal didn't want to, but I might consider it. Let me know if y'all would consider it. But yeah, I think that very handcuffed them. I think they really wanted Jimmy Butler. I think then they're even trying to get, creative, send Kevin Durant instead of Beal for Jimmy Butler. But Kevin Durant did not want to play the Warriors. I guess loser Draymond Green. He's like went from being KD's best friend that like lured KD to the Warriors from OKC to now KD's like, I'm not freaking playing with that guy. He's still there. I'm not playing. Somebody else can go, or he has to go before I'm coming back. Kevin Durant just really seemed to express no interest in going to the Warriors, apparently. Going back, did not want a reunion. That kind of makes me interested. Like, I think retire his number now that he's like apparently this against the franchise. I would say probably not. I would say probably not. That would probably, kind of do it for me. Like, say, probably wouldn't want to do it. So all right, scrolling through here, anything really else? No, I'm not really seeing anything else really big. Yeah, because now we're back to the De'Aaron Fox deal. It's kind of a lot of minor moves, pick swaps, role players, not even below role players, guys that are probably, get waived, get bought out kind of thing. So that's kind of all I got for the NBA trade deadline. Once again, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I don't really know. You guys let me know what you think. The NBA trade deadline delivered. Was it one of the best one? Was it the best one of all time? I think it's up there. Did Shams have the best trade deadline performance of all time? No. He's tweeting against plumbers. He had no comp anymore. Woj left. Imagine just how funny it would have been if Woj like had one of these deals. And I think people like he's like said if like texted him deals and he's just like, I don't care. Leave me alone. Like imagine if Woj just broke like the Luka trade to the Lakers. That would have been so funny. And like just completely one up Shams. But no, Shams, he had it, all by himself. No comp. He is the market corner now. But yeah, NBA trade deadline, it delivered. NBA trade deadline, I give him credit. NBA, this is what I guess what I was trying to get to, and then I got cut off. The NBA is like most talked about by just transaction. Like they've set it up. It's almost like a reality show where just the transactions, just that's what people love to talk about. That's what people tune in for. And honestly, I'd say until the playoffs, that's what they care about more than the actual games that take place on the court. And that's where I'm kind of like, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I'm like, one, it's kind of all publicity is good publicity, but also two, it's like you're a sports league. Don't you want people like talking about like your games and not just like hypothetical trades and rumors, stuff like that? You would think, you maybe want a little bit more buzz about the games, but I don't know if it's working. If it's broke, don't fix it. So we'll see there. So once again, shout out NBA trade deadline. One of the most fun weeks of the year. They really did take the hype away from the Super Bowl. It's karma for Christmas when they took the NFL kind of took Christmas away from the NBA. So it's gonna wrap it up for the trade deadline. Now let's talk a little All-Star. So we did have the All-Star draft. All right, I'm gonna try this here. Let's see if this works. Share screen. Oh, here we go. Bang. Bang. Does it work? Add to stage. Oh, there we go. There we go. No. Okay. I got to do it like this. All right. So the All-Star rosters. First, we start with Team Shaq. So Team Shaq has LeBron, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, who now will not play in the game, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, James Harden, Jaylen Brown, and then Kyrie Irving, who is replacing Anthony Davis. Then going here to Team Kenny, we have Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and Tyler Hero. And then finally, Team Chuck, we have Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama, Pascal Siakam, Alfred Sengun, Karl-Anthony Towns, Donovan Mitchell, and then Trae Young, who's going to be the injury replacement for Giannis. So, there's a lot of speculation. I didn't watch this draft live. I meant to rewatch it. I didn't, but I didn't get around to it. But a lot of speculation that it was kind of scripted. The fix was in. The NBA wanted these guys to draft the way they did. Because you kind of argue, Team Shaq is like your kind of the already solidified guys, or like aging guys, where it's kind of like, all right, they're getting to the end of their career. Obviously not like a Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. They're not as much. I mean, Dame still got a little bit to go. But, I mean, they got LeBron, they got Steph Curry, they got Kevin Durant, they got James Harden, and now they have Kyrie instead of AD. Like, they're the team of, guys who it's like, these are the big names. These are, the guys the NBA are putting on TV all the time, trying to get the hub in the national televised games. So, that's what Team Shaq is. Team Kenny is kind of the guys who are next up, going to be potentially these next face of the league. You got Ant. You got Jalen Brunson, who's been hooping lately. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Jalen Williams are some really good bigs. Then you got Garland, Mobley, really solid players for the Cavs. Cade Cunningham, number one pick a couple years ago, and then Tyler Hero, first-time All-Star. So those are guys that, they're starting to be up and coming, could be the next faces of the league. Then the final team, Team Chuck, you argue is kind of like the international team. It's Jokic, Giannis, Shai, who's from Canada, Wemby, French, Siakam, Sengun, Karl-Anthony Towns, Donovan Mitchell. But even they were kind of saying, on Inside the NBA, they catch this, Donovan Mitchell's from, he's from Panama or something like that. So he's got, heritage outside the United States, where it's, all guys that are, it's technically the international players. Granted, they got broken by Trae Young, who got put in for Giannis, but I don't know, maybe they should have switched it. Should have done, Trae Young replaces Giannis, but then this would be my next take. Sabonis. How did Domantas Sabonis not get in the All-Star game still? I read his stats last week. Let me show them again. That's how good Domantas Sabonis has been, that he is not, how is he not in the All-Star game? And then there you go. He'd been perfect for your international flair here. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing that. Share my new Domantas Sabonis. Here we go. Look at this, Domantas Sabonis. Oh, it's not working. Is it working? Got to add the state. There we go. Okay, Domantas Sabonis this year is averaging 20 points per game, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists. He now is also without De'Aaron Fox. His team, yes, currently, well, no, they're in the play-in. They're 500. Like I said, now doesn't have De'Aaron Fox. How is he not an all-star? How is this guy an all-star? I mean, and then let's go Kyrie stats. Granted, Kyrie has been without, Lucic. Why did it not work? There we go. Kyrie Irving. It's a little slow right now, chat. Sorry. What are we doing? I clicked Kyrie Irving 3 times. There we go. Okay. Kyrie Irving, 24 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Granted, obviously, not as much of it. He's not going to have the same rebound numbers and probably even assist numbers. Can the W? Thank you. Field goal percentage, 47%, 40% from 3, 90% from the line. So good shooting splits for Kyrie, I will say. But I'm sorry, I'm going Sabonis, and that's the thing. We just replaced 2 bigs, 2 front court players, back court players. Why is that? Why is that the case? That doesn't make any sense to me. So, where am I going with this? All-Star game. What team do you guys have winning? Are you going? That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to call them the. I'm not going to call them by their inside the NBA counterparts. I'm calling. You have team current stars. LeBron, Steph Curry, all of them. Let's pull these up. All right. We'll do this one more time. Pull these back up one more time as I go through it, just so I can give my picks and then reference it for you guys as well. So here we go. Share. I had to say, all right, there we go. So the international team will start there. I'm gonna go back. We'll go back up top. Jokic, Giannis, Shea, Wemby, Siakam, Şengün, Towns, Mitchell. Or Trae Young instead of Giannis. Are you taking team rising star Ant, Jaylen Brown, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and Tyler Hero? Are you taking team current star LeBron, Steph Curry, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, James Harden, Jaylen Brown? For me, I'd be taking this team, except Kevin Durant is the one. Granted, there could be others too. Kevin Durant's the guy I've really heard be outspoken that this format's stupid, doesn't like it. And just honestly, they're old. These guys are old. At times they've delivered entertaining performances in the All-Star game, but I feel like these guys, they're more entertainers when they play. They're not as competitive. So for me, just knowing, especially Kevin Durant's heart is not in it, I'm not going this team. The international team, obviously, a lot of really good players here, but maybe a couple reaches and guys like Şengün or Siakam, maybe not guys I would have picked. Maybe there have been better players still on the board. I'm gonna go with this rising stars team just because I think Anthony Edwards has that dog. I'm gonna say Anthony Edwards for All-Star Game MVP. Think he has a big game. I think he plays really well in this. So I'm going Team Rising Star, Team Kenny. They're my pick to win. I don't know the bracket yet. I don't know. Is the bracket even set up? Let's look. Let's click here on format. Do they have the bracket? No, I don't think they have the bracket on here. All right. That is enough of that then. Enough of that. So I'm gonna go team. I can't remember again. That was Team Kenny. Team Kenny, yes, that was my pick. Team Kenny. I think Anthony Edwards, All-Star Game MVP. Him and Kenny, they got that chemistry from the Adam Sandler movie where Anthony Edwards played a big role in that. Played a big role in Hustle as kind of the villain. So I think he's going to be kind of the villain in this. I think he's going to go hard. He's going to kind of give it to these guys. Jalen Brunson, another guy I think kind of similar, not as outspoken, but I like him to kind of go well. I mean, you got Tyler Hero, he could light up from the outside. Maybe he gets hot. I think that plays a big factor in this as well. So I'm going Team Kenny to win this one. Then let's just kind of look here. I should have pulled this up for it. NBA, the 3-point contestants also got announced as well. So we're fully here, all in, All-Star Weekend. All this stuff is now out since the game is this weekend. Since Thursday is when we're done. So we got here of course I picked the one that has ads. Let's see. Can't 3P. Oh, this one, yes. I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot. So let me know if you guys remember this. Damian Lillard is going for his 3-peat in the 3-point contest. I had no clue. I did not remember that, but he is. So, Mac McClung won the last 2 dunk contests. Dame Lillard won the last 2 3-point contests. The Chiefs yesterday tried to win their 3rd straight Super Bowl. Unsuccessful. Will they be successful? I did talk about the dunk contest last week, so we're not going to touch on that. However, let me know your pick if you got your pick for the dunk contest. So, 3-point contest. We have, Damian Lillard, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, the hometown guy, Cam Johnson, and Norm Powell. I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of disappointed. Why is there no Steph or even Clay? Honestly, I think Clay in this would have been even more entertaining. Would have been a tribute I liked even better. Just because I think it would have been another kind of welcome back home Clay. I think it would have been cool. He's done the 3-point contest before. I just don't know here why you wouldn't have like a hometown guy compete in this. I'm not gonna, I guess, Buddy Hield, but like this Buddy Hield does not move the needle the way Steph Curry and Klay Thompson do. So be it. I guess we're going Buddy Hield to represent the Warriors. My pick. Since I was just talking about how hot he was, let's see if I can also pull up odds here. That might also help influence my pick on this. But right now, I might go just to not be basic and go Dame for the three-peat. Because like I said, Chiefs didn't three-peat. I don't think we're getting three-peat in the 3-point and the slam dunks. I did already pick Mac McClung to be my winner of the dunk contest. I don't know if they let you bet on the All-Star weekend, or at least if they do, it's like not out yet, or I haven't found it. Nope, I don't think so. All right, so I'm not seeing any odds. Was going to do some odds, but I don't think we have any. So my pick, like I just said, I think he's going to have a big weekend. He's now kind of the face of Miami. Going Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero stroke it. I think he's going to have a good showing. Forget if he's done this before. I know Brunson's done it before. He hasn't been too hot, which people have talked about. I mean, maybe Buddy Hield. I could maybe see Buddy Hield. He's a pretty good 3-point shooter. And then hometown guy. But I'm gonna go with Tyler Hero as my pick. And then in the skills contest, we had that announced as well. They're going 8 guys, which I think is what they used to do. No, that's what they used to do. But they're doing 4 teams. 4 teams of 2 guys. The last couple of years, it's been 3 teams of 3 guys. So the teams. Here, this is another one. I can share my screen here. Let's. Oh, I have to stop screen. I'm gonna have to redo it again. I might just have to make graphics next time. This share screen's a little silly. Doesn't work as well. All right, so as you can see the graphic here. Team Cavs. We got Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Team Rooks. Zachary Richese and Alex Sarr. Team Spurs. Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama. And then Team Warriors. Draymond Green and Moses Moody. That has to be like they were trying. I guess they do want to have a hometown team, but like there had to have been so many people they asked to do it before Draymond Green and Moses Moody. What are we doing here? That's just funny. But the other teams I am excited for. Team Spurs. Obviously Wemby. They're doing a good job. Like I said last week, gonna give them their props. Doing a really good job trying to promote Wemby here in the NBA. I like that pick. It's a good pick. Team Rooks, Richese and Sarr. Like I said, this draft class I don't think was as notable. So maybe, for some more casual fans, and I don't know if casual fans are watching the skills challenge to start the night, but we get familiar with those 2 guys. I think that would be, I think that's a good move. They did something like that last year as well. I think that's probably gonna be something they do a lot going forward. And yeah, that's another guy I should have mentioned earlier with the Hawks. Richese, he's been playing well. He's had his moments, so kind of build around him rather than Trae Young. I think we get a way for the Hawks to go forward. I think this is a good way for fans to get to know him. And then Team Cavs, number 1 team in the league. Cavs guys always seem to want to do these events too, which is kind of cool. So Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. My pick for this, I'm going Wembanyama and Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul, he's not playing in the All-Star game anymore. This is kind of his only thing of the weekend. Not kind of, it is his only thing of the weekend, but something as a competitor I could see him going hard at. So I'm going to go Chris Paul to go hard here, get the victory. Give me Team Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama. So let's see. Can I do? No, I have to unshare, reshare. All right. Final thing. We'll just kind of close here. Again, if you guys have any final takes, things you want to share, feel free to drop them now. We'll just kind of look here through the. Oh, I could have kept on the screen. Look here through the standings on what we got here going on in the NBA. I have kind of mentioned them a little bit here already. But standings wise, just to kind of close out, I think that's be a good way, just kind of refresh everyone's memory every week, even honestly just for me as well. But yeah, good way to close the week, and kind of if anyone has any takes on any of these teams, good way to end the show. So I think we're gonna try to do that. So like I mentioned, Cavs still in first in the East, and Celtics in second, Knicks in third, Pacers in 4th, 12.5 back. Bucks in 5th. Pistons in 6th. Heat in 7th. Magic 8. Atlanta 9. And then Bulls 10 within the Sixers, Nets, Raptors, Hornets, the teams out of the playoffs, looking in. Hopefully Philly, living here in Chicago, hope Philly jumps the Bulls, but Philly's lost 3 straight. Talk about that in a sec. That did help me jog my memory. Thing I wanted to end on with here. I'm going out west. Thunder still in first, 8-2 in the last 10, 5 straight wins. Very comfortably now in first. But Memphis, still hot as well, 8-2. Their last 10 games for them. They're in second, 35-17. Denver in third, 7-3, 6 straight wins for them. They're rolling as well. And then Houston, they're in fourth, 33-20. 4-6 in the last 10. I believe they'd lost 6 straight actually before winning yesterday or today, whenever they won. So they're finally turning things around here a little bit as well. Then the Lakers, red hot, like I mentioned, 9-1, 5 straight wins. Luka's debut tonight, 31-19, all the way now in 5th. Minnesota in 6th, 8-2 as well. So a lot of these top teams here in the West are very hot right now. Then playing, you got Clippers, Mavs, Kings, Suns, with the Golden State tied as well. San Antonio currently 3 games out, 3-7 as of late, not playing too hot. Blazers hot in the streets, 8-2, but still find themselves, 4.5 games out of a play-in spot. Could they maybe make it? We'll see. But still being that far out after punching above their weight like they have been recently, I'd say probably not. So to wrap it up here, I want to give a shout out to one person here to end the show. So like I mentioned, I went to a couple NBA games in person this week. It was a lot of fun. First time I had in a while. Obviously just on top of doing the show as well, doing that. I'm really excited for the NBA. I'm gonna be fully in on the NBA now. Obviously, big college basketball guy. Got I believe it's 5 weeks till Selection Sunday from yesterday. So, I like both, but I'm really gonna get more into the NBA. I'm into the NBA, but really, I think start following on a daily basis because I love going to games in person. I had a really fun time going to the Bulls Heat game this week. Montes Buzelis had a really good game for the Bulls in that win. And then yesterday was at the Sixers Bucks game where Dame Lillard and Tyrese Maxey just both could not miss. Very good game, both ways. But the most notable thing about that game was it was Hubie Brown's final broadcast as an NBA broadcaster. Hubie Brown is 91 years old. Trust me, I love ball. I do not think I'm going to be 91 years old if I'm lucky enough to live that long, still here with my mic, and whoever knows what technology there will be then, chatting ball. So the fact that Hubie Brown was 91 years old and is still, going out and about, commentating NBA games, obviously not doing it as much, and just still with the same just enthusiasm, love for the game. Just hat tip to Hubie Brown. It was a really cool tribute they played for him in the arena. It was cool to see all the players, kind of going up to him before the game, during that, after the game. There's a stat. Hubie Brown is either coached or broadcasted games for 80% of the NBA players ever. So 4 of every 5 players who've ever played in the NBA from 1947 to today, we're going on just about 80 years now here. Hubie Brown either coached them or broadcast one of their games. That's just insane. That you'll never see it again, just because 1, no one works that long, and 2, just the turnover coaching. You're never gonna see it again. It's just absolute basketball lifer. So congrats to Hubie Brown. Gonna miss him on the call because still at 91, he was still with it, still teaching everyone the game. He was just really a guy that loved basketball. So a lot of respect to Hubie Brown. So if you guys love basketball, make sure to like the video. Appreciate you guys tuning in. It's been a lot of fun. Episode 2 here now in the books. If you're watching live, appreciate you tuning in. If you're watching this afterwards, thanks for checking it out as well. Like I said, don't be afraid to join us at 9 Eastern, 8 Central here every Wednesday or every Monday on the Variety Sports Network. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Shoot the rock. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.